What's up, guys? This is Rich again for another edition of Learning with Rich. So, today we're going to talk about Autodesk Revit 2018, and I'm going to show you another useful tip, another useful tool that you can use in your day to day job using the Revit. Okay, so the tool that we are going to talk about this time is Transfer Project Standards. Okay, so from the word itself, transfer, so meaning what we're going to do is we're going to copy project standards from one project and apply them to another project. Okay, so where is that project standard, that transfer project standards? So from the manage tab, you can see here transfer project standards. So like what I have said, it copies selected project settings from another open project to the current project. So make sure the project wherein you're going to copy the settings is open, you see, from another open project to the current project. So project standards include family types, line weights, materials, view templates, and object styles, and actually many more. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you can transfer from another project to your current project. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So let's say, for example, I'm going to create a new, let's say, mechanical project. So I select mechanical template. All right. Okay, so let's say what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change here the project information. Okay, very basic sample. Okay, I'm not going to do any fancy things. So what I'm just going to do is I'll go ahead and select the Manage tab and select here the project information. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to fill up the identity data as well as the others here, the other parameters. So let's say organization name, this is Rich Private Limited. Okay, description, construction, company, okay, or whatever. Building name, ABC, author is Richard. Okay, so let's say the project issue date, January 1, 2018. Project status, work in progress. Owner, it's me. Okay, whatever address that you want. 1, 2, 3. This is my address. Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Philippines. Okay. Project name ABC Building. Okay, 001, 00A. All right. So after I fill out the project information of the project that I'm working on, so I'm just going to select OK because this is what you are going to do also when setting up your project. So make sure you fill out the project information of your project so that at least your other team members or your other client or your other co-workers like the consultant, the contractor, at least they know what is the information about your project. Like, for example, who's the owner of that. So you always fill out the project information of your project. All right. Then after that, I just go ahead and select OK. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is, let's say, for example, I'm going to create another project. Okay, so I'm going to create another project. So let's say I'm going to select this time structural template. So let's say I'm going to create structural project. So I select OK. All right, so this project that I'm working on, this structural project, happens to be the same project of my previous project. So meaning to say, the same project, okay? So what I'm going to do is, of course, I also need to fill out the project information of my structural model. Okay, so as you can see, it's empty. So of course you can fill out this manually, but instead of doing that, so we will be using the tool that I'm talking about, the transfer project standards. Okay, the transfer project standards. So as you can see, our first project, the M&E project, is still open, which is this one. Now I'm not going to close this. I'm just going to my structural project, because according to the definition, it copies selected project settings from another open project to the current project. So make sure the settings or the project wherein you're going to copy the settings is open. Okay. Now go ahead and select the transfer project standards. And then from here, you'll now be able to see that particular project, the our M&E project. Okay. If you click the drop down arrow, you can only select one here because we only have two projects. This current project that is open, and then the other project, the M&E project. And then as you can see, there's a lot of uh, types here or settings that you can copy. Okay, so it includes family types, like for example the system families. By the way, you cannot copy the settings of the loaded families. Okay, you cannot copy that, or you cannot transfer that to your current project. Okay, when it comes to family, you can only transfer system families. Remember, you have three types of family: in place family, loadable families, and system families. So in transfer project standards, we're only talking about system families. Okay, so aside from system families, you can also transfer global parameters. This one, if you have a global parameter set to this project, you can transfer that. Let's say you also have line weights, materials, view templates and filters, as well as object styles. So in mechanical side, so let's say you have a setup for mechanical settings, piping, electrical settings. Let's say you have annotation styles, color fill patterns, print settings, okay? As long as it is included in this list, you can transfer that, okay? So these are the elements or the types that you can transfer to your current project. But I'm not going to check all of this. I'm going to check none. So what I did here is, or the items that I want to copy from this project is the project information. So it's not that difficult. Okay, so project information, and then after that I select here OK. Okay, I'll just override this one. There you go. So if I'm going to check now the project information here, you will notice that it's now already filled out. How cool is that, right? So no need for you to redo the whole process. Okay, right? And another thing, when another tip for tips for transferring project standard. So when using the transfer project standards tool, so you need to consider that when system families rely on other system families, all of the related families must be transferred at the same time in order for their relationship to be maintained. Like for example, the text type and dimension styles make use of arrowheads. Okay, so therefore, text types, dimension styles, and arrowheads must be transferred at the same time so that you will not be having a problem as you work on your project. So sometimes there's an error if you're going to transfer only the text type, and then after that, you transfer separately the dimension style or the arrowhead. Sometimes there's an error. And another thing, okay, make sure, because I have read this blog about the transfer project standards when it comes to view templates. Okay, when it comes to view templates, common scenario which can be easy to overlook is when you transfer the view templates from another project. Okay, so most of the time when you create the view templates, remember the view templates, you go to the view tab, and then you can see the view templates here. Okay, So of course you can create a view template from here. So if you create a new view template, okay, you can create a new one. It includes also the filter, okay? So from the view properties, one parameter there is the filter, okay? So make sure if you're going to transfer your view templates, you need to include also the filter if you have a filter in your view templates, okay? Because you were going to have a problem if you transfer separately, like for example, you transfer first the view templates and the filter separately, okay? So you'll be having a problem there. So anyway, just in case you did that, so what you can do is you can delete from the view templates here that you transferred, and then after that redo again the transfer project standards. This time, include the view templates and then the filters. All right. So I hope I made myself clear. Right. Okay. So that's how you use the transfer project standards. So from the manage, you can use this very nice tool. So let's say, for example, I go back to my mechanical plan. So let's say I'm going to create here a project parameter. Okay. So let's say I want to add another project parameter here under identity data. Okay, so I want to add another parameter here. Because these parameters are hard-coded, it is created by Autodesk. So if you want to add another parameter here wherein you can just simply type, okay, so you can create a project parameter. Okay, so I select project parameter and take note that in mechanical template, subdiscipline there is a project parameter that was created. So as you can see, there's the subdiscipline. Anyway, let me show you how to create a project parameter. Then later on, let us transfer this. So I'm going to select add. Okay. Then after that, for the parameter data, so let's say I'm going to add here view purpose. Okay. Right. So I'll just select instance here, but for the type of parameter, I'll just select here text. Now, I want to group the parameter, okay? So I'm going to group that under, let's say, identity data. So from the group parameter under, I select identity data. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and select here view because this is the view properties. So I'm going to place my view purpose on the views and then I select here OK. Now it will be added here. So there's the view purpose and then I select here OK. There you go. So there's now your view purpose. So from here, you can type, let's say, what is the purpose of my one-mech view? So I can type here, let's say this is for printing. Okay. You can select apply. Or let's say this is for computation. This is for collaboration. This is for submission. Or this is a work in progress. So that's the purpose of this view purpose parameter. So if I want this view purpose parameter to be transferred here on my project 6, same procedure, okay? So you just need to use transfer project standards from project 5, check none. So you look for project parameters. And then I select here, okay. Yep, there you go. And take note that subdiscipline also was transferred. Okay, so there's your view purpose, there's your sub-discipline. So you can use these parameters if you want to filter out based on the view purpose or based on the sub-discipline. Okay, so that's how you use your transfer project standards. So hopefully you learned something from this video. So if you have comments, questions, or suggestions, just put it on the comment section below and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So again, don't forget to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Once again, this is Rich. Have a nice day.